man, Wardlow tonight just was pushed to the absolute limit by Colin Delaney. Just an absolute massacre of a match. I know that Wardlow's your boy.
Oh, man.
And we are super excited about 2022 for Wardlow.
Look at that dominance, dude.
But man, I gotta say, dude, there's very few people in AEW and in wrestling in general, but AEW in particular, that can go like him and just dominate like him. And like you can name a handful of guys, guys like Brian Cage and Lance Archer, but Wardlow is just an absolute beast. And he had a little segment before this match where MJF basically said, we want you to win the TNT title, but if you win it, it's mine. Look at the contract. Mark Sterling was there doing his thing. He's great. He's another fun character on the show that's always doing his thing and never breaks it. It's great. But Wardlow, you can tell, man, is getting just fed up with good old Max.
Yeah.
And once he's fed up and he's done, oh, dude, it's going to be a bloodbath. And here's the thing, man, like, they're building him up to be an absolute superstar in 2022 right now.
Yeah.
I think that Wardlow, we were a year early. We were a year early. But you know what? I think that that's awesome because we've had a year to simmer on this guy that we know can go. That's a beast. And now we're seeing the payoff of that wait. Isn't it better that we had to be patient?
So true.
Like, it's so much better now that we had to be patient. If Wardlow had, a year of breaking out, imagine if he broke out last year.
Right.
And then you have guys like Bryan Danielson coming in and CM Punk coming in.
Right.
And, Miro ascending as well.
Right.
He might have gotten lost in the shuffle a little bit there. But 2022 going in, young guy, absolute freak. Everybody knows what he can do.
Yep.
And MJF and CM Punk, their feud seems to be kind of starting to die a little bit, which is good. They're ready for it with Wardlow, man. And this is going to be a test for MJF as well, because he's not built a star yet. He's been a guy who's gotten to ascend through feuding with guys like Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, all these other guys like Darby Allin, who I think is on the similar level as him. You know what I mean? Jericho, exactly.
Yeah.
Feuding with a legend like Chris Jericho, one of the best ever.
Right.
And this will be his first opportunity to really build up another guy who's got that upside, who's got that potential, who looks the part, who can talk, who can go, who's a freak athlete. And we're going to be able to see if MJF is really that guy, because if he can do that, and obviously Wardlow's going to do it too, but if you can get MJF in there building up guys like Wardlow, it's going to be huge for his career. And I think that Wardlow is right on the cusp, man. We're about to see him explode. And once he does, in the wrestling business, a guy like him who looks the part and can go and is a freak athlete, it's going to just be a huge thing for AEW, man.
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, maybe we were a year early on the Wardlow breakout. And all year it was one of those things where you're just like,
we're just waiting for it.
I can't wait. I can't wait, baby. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. And when it comes to fruition, and it certainly looks like it's going to happen very, very soon, we're on the cusp of witnessing the vault. I love your idea. Have him go at his hometown and just rip MJF apart, break him in,
rip his heart out, man.
Man, Wardlow, you said it very well. In AEW, Wardlow feels very special.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a unique look and size, and just an overall vibe of superstar. If you know what I mean, he's not a guy that you see that could be working on the street, and that you bump into Wardlow at a Home Depot and you're gonna do a double take.
You're wondering what this guy does.
You're like, okay, all right.
Is this guy like a football player? Or is this guy like a pro wrestler or something?
Exactly.
He's got to be an athlete.
Wardlow's the type of guy who stands out. And the more you become a fan of his and the more you learn about his athleticism, how smart he is inside and outside the ring, kind of a very cerebral person.
Mm-hmm.
the bigger, the more upside you start to see. Like, okay, this is a guy whose career is not going to go off the rails. Once
No.
he's made, he's got that ability to make it work for. I mean, like you and I have talked about. I compared him to a very young Brock Lesnar, but you've even said Dave Batista vibes. I'm a huge Batista guy. There's a lot of like there's just that. This feels like that big guy who could be one of the top big guys for years to come. And
he could be the top big guy in this company.
Generational. He could be a generational big guy in the landscape of AEW. And I don't mean to overstate that. I think, he could easily be a guy who could go a 10-year, like 10 to 12. Like, I think he could have that. And I know he's, in his 30s, but I think Wardlow,
he's a young guy.
I think that he could go and be a guy who can make a huge impact, especially in the next 5 to 6 years if they invest in him properly. Huge Wardlow fan. Think that he's got a lot of untapped potential. And like you said, very smart. MJF now could get the opportunity to pay it forward, be the heel that puts over the babyface. And Wardlow as a babyface, it feels like he's just in Cleveland. I love your idea. It would make a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah, dude. Plus, like, they're going to pop, man. As a Cleveland fan, we love our hometown boys when they come home. Like, The Miz gets cheered when he comes to Cleveland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We love our hometown boys. So, that Tony Khan, probably smart guy, he's like, okay, them Cleveland fans know what they're talking about.
Hopefully Wardlow doesn't have to buy a beer in Cleveland when he's down there. I hope my Cleveland guys down there represent and take care of the hometown guy.